DIY projects, including windows, doors, siding, lumber, and millwork. Are you building a new home? Bring your contractor in to Mid-South Lumber and meet with a member of their sales team to discuss your framing, siding, windows, and doors. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City. 717 West 11th Street.
Saturday, September 27th, come to the grand opening land sale at the ranches at Creekside Preserve and get your gorgeous 20 to 50 acre estate in desirable Baldwin County on sale from only $139.9. That's right. Get 20 to 50 acres in Baldwin County from just $139.9 with excellent financing available. Ranches at Creekside Preserve features private large acreage tracts with beautiful woodlands, rolling meadows, and a peaceful creek, all surrounded by pristine natural beauty and abundant wildlife. It's your opportunity to live in Baldwin County, Alabama, one of the fastest growing coastal counties in the U.S. due to low taxes and a low cost of living. Don't miss out. Come to the grand opening land sale at the ranches at Creekside Preserve and get your gorgeous 20 to 50 acre estate in desirable Baldwin County on sale from only $139.9. Call 877-888-1415 or go to creeksidepreserveal.com. That's creeksidepreserveal.com.
For exciting college football, the best boiled seafood, and the most game day fun, it's Lone Star Boil House. Watch the games on their huge Jumbotron. Challenge your friends to beer pong, cornhole, and oversized Connect 4 in their new adult lounge. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for incredible wings, the best boiled seafood, and a new breakfast menu. Saturday and Sunday starting at 9. Crush the follow on Facebook to catch huge game day specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they will get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
When you bring your vehicle to Panama City Toyota for repairs or maintenance, you'll get the warmest welcome around.
That's because we see service differently.
It's not only an expert team that can help with everything, from simple adjustments to a new set of tires. It's also a team that values your time, so we make your experience as quick and comfortable as possible. Because we're committed to service that goes beyond. Only at Panama City Toyota.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
I'm sick and tired of carrying all the weight.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action. Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
The product on the field is pathetic.
The Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You know what time it is. It's the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad that you're here. We're here. It's Thursday, baby. We are almost to the weekend. We're excited. I got some people in the building. We got LSU Jeff, as always. We got Jam and Jimmy in the glass bubble doing the ones and twos. And we got the new guy, Texas Brian, in the building. We're glad that you're here. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Jeff, how you doing today?
Doing good. I took a little trip down to Port St. Joe today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, did a little shopping and ate down there and came back up.
Yeah, did you buy me anything?
Nah.
Okay.
They didn't give nothing away free.
Yeah. I'm with you. And now we're going to be having with us our resident Texas fan, Texas, Brian. What is going on, Brian? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man.
Good.
It's ready for another college football weekend right now.
Oh, yeah. Now, you are the owner of the Lone Star Boil House here locally in Panama City. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, we started out as a crawfish joint, but now we've expanded. I mean, it's shrimp, snow crab, king crab, Jonah crab, royal red shrimp, and now we expanded into barbecue and all sorts of game day stuff now. I mean, smoked wings, everything else. The biggest TV in Panama City. We got our giant Jumbotron out on the lawn. So
it can't fit inside. It's outside.
Yeah. That's great.
We've got a rowdy crowd at our place.
Yeah.
Like, our place is rowdy for football games. We do have people jumping on the tables, the picnic tables outside.
That's what I'm talking about.
We've had it, so
ready to go.
So the cool thing about them is they have multiple TVs. You can watch like 4 different games at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you got the big TV outside, the main attraction game, and then, I mean, you can be watching any game, on any TV. When I went over there, it was like Texas was indoors. It was on the small TV, and they had like Tennessee outside. It was like, you can like catch all different kind of games, like look around and, catch all the games all at once.
Oh, that sounds awesome. So that means that sounds like the Sports Blitz needs to come over to the Boil House on a Saturday and interview some folks and get it going.
We do.
That's what we'll do. We'll do that for sure.
And let me tell you, you grew up in Texas?
I did.
Okay. That's why he's doing barbecue right. Because I went over there and I was like, I looked at that special today. I said, ooh, pulled pork sandwich. Let me have some of that, and oh man, it hit good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's what you said when he came on. He was like, the seafood's good and all of that stuff's good, but I'll tell you what, if you want to go over there and get some good barbecue, that's the place to go.
Yeah.
So that's really good. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that because I love it all. I mean, obviously, I'm not a picture of great health here, but either way, I enjoy the food. So, but let's get into it. You're going to be with us for the first segment, and you are a big Texas fan. And the thing is that we've got a lot to talk about when we talk about Texas because realistically, dropping that first game, when you look at them playing Ohio State, everybody's like, oh my gosh, panic button. But realistically, you lost to Ohio State at home by 7. I mean, that really doesn't, how does that make you feel as a Texas fan?
It didn't really bother me. I mean, I thought we were going to win that game.
Right.
But at the same time, it's Ohio State. It's defending national champions. Arch, for all purposes. I mean, this is basically his first start. I can't really count last year. That's a hostile environment to go into. I mean, now what's happened lately is what's worried me more than anything, though. So.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we all picked Texas.
Yeah, we all did.
We
all picked Texas, so we were all thinking that was going to happen. I think over half of America, everybody outside Ohio, which this is a anti-Ohio State studio. So 100%. Either way, especially from 4 to 6, at the other place, people can say what they want.
Oh, they got a couple of guys on the morning show.
Yeah, the morning show, they like to talk about it, but I don't. So we'll talk about them, but we won't talk about them very good. But either way, when you look at Texas, there are some issues. There's some issues going on. And, when you got Arch Manning, he's 47 of 85, 579 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. You don't want to see that being with your starting quarterback, not when you're supposed to be, 1, 2, or 3 in the country. Yeah. You want to have better numbers than that from your quarterback. It's not the interceptions that bother me. It's the incompletions.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, he has missed so many wide open guys. I mean, he's hitting them at their feet. I mean, it's not the receiver. The receivers are open, and he can't hit them. I don't understand what is going on with him at all right now. But.
Yeah, but I mean, because they've got 5 stars. Jeff, if you look at them, they've got 5 stars everywhere on that field, from the offensive line to your receivers to the running backs. Everybody's a 5-star, and he's just not looking very good. He's missing people. Like, what he was saying is that he was missing people, and it doesn't look good going forward for them because, you've got to do something with wide open receivers.
Yeah.
You know what that is? You got to throw it to him. You got to throw it to him and let him catch it.
Yeah. I mean, and you have the blocking. I don't even know.
Yeah, he's got time.
When they scored 7 on Ohio State, I was like, what in the world? And they really haven't impressed since then, really.
No.
But LSU, same deal. And not impressive on offense at all.
Right. I mean, but when you look at it, the other thing, Brian, that we got to look at is the running game, and that's the other part that's not looking very good because realistically, like say, Baxter, I know, what's his name? Trey Wisner, he's hurt, but Wisner's been hurt, so we'll give him that. But Baxter, I mean, he's got 24 carries for 110 yards.
I mean, he was a 5-star coming out. He was hurt all last year, but everybody fully expected him to come back, and that'd be a two-headed monster for us this year, and it's not working out that way.
That's
so
more
far.
than 4.5 yards per carry. So
yeah, I mean, but the thing is like I think he had like 2 or 3 or 4 big runs of 15 plus. So that kind of plays into that average that it kind of is a little bit deceiving because he's really. And the thing is that's real glaring about it. Having these weaker opponents, 0 touchdowns from the running back room.
Yeah.
That's where your problem is. We talked about that with Alabama about being able to run the football, but realistically, Texas cannot run the football. Their leading rusher is Arch, and he's the only ones that scored touchdowns for their running. Yeah. And that's what you don't want because you don't want to have to be hit a lot. You want to keep your guy from being hit a lot, but if you're running the ball a lot, you're going to be hit a lot, and that's the biggest thing. So, I mean, getting back on track after the Ohio State game, obviously not playing, big-time teams, but feeling good about the win. How do you feel like Arch has handled the stardom and then the failure? I mean, how do you think he's done with that? Because obviously he's a Manning, and everybody in the world's talking about him. He's the number one on everybody's draft board. He was the number one everybody on the Heisman. They're the number one team in the country. I mean, perfect storm, perfect everything, and then boom, he comes out there and he basically lays an egg in Columbus.
I don't know. I mean, he handled everything in the offseason great. Mm-hmm. But now it does seem that the negative, the booing in the stadium last week, I mean, he got booed. Arch did. I feel like it's getting to his head now at some point in time. Luckily, we have Sam Houston State coming up this week, so hopefully that'll get him back on track. I mean,
but and that's the big thing. Like, again, I hate to harp on a kid. I mean, he's 19 years old. I hate to just harp on him. But realistically, he's the highest paid player in college football. Yep. He's basically the face of college football right now. Obviously, his uncles are famous. His grandpa's famous. He's famous. Yeah. It's all a part of it, even if he's doing this or that. But when you look at his numbers against UTEP, he was 11 for 25 for 114 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 pick. Like, that's disastrous against a UTEP team. I don't care if they were 3-0. Yeah. It doesn't matter. But University of Texas at El Paso. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they've had a decent couple of good basketball teams back in the late 80s, 90s. Either way, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? Like, we got to do better than that. And the thing that's glaring about that game is that he scored touchdowns running against them. Yep. So that means either Sark was calling running plays because he was so frustrated because I didn't get the chance to watch all of it, or they were rushing him and he had to break the pocket and go run the football.
No, that wasn't the case. I mean, he didn't have to. He threw 10 straight incompletions at one point in time. 10. That's unheard of. Yeah. Like, no, that should never happen.
And it looks like his release is bad. It looks like a lot of things are not good. We do have a caller on the Red 70s phone line. Lynn Haven Robb, are you with us, my friend?
Yes, I am. This is the first time I've actually been able to call since you've taken over, and I appreciate what you do, and you have a good show. I like listening to you every day.
Oh, thanks, Rob. I appreciate it, man.
Have y'all actually watched Manning play?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Last week he looked horrible. he looked lost. He goes through the motions, and when he hands off, he turns around and watches the play. And then he just walks over to where he, and I don't know how they're calling their plays, but he doesn't even put his hands over his ears, like he's listening. He's just kind of looking around. And if you watch the running backs, they're looking to the sidelines it's like everybody's getting their play from the sideline except Arch. And then he just walks up there and gets, either gets in his spot, in the shotgun, or walks and gets under center. But once the ball snapped, he goes to his spot. He either fakes a handoff, hands it off, or whatever. And then when the tackle's made right at the line of scrimmage, he'll kind of walk up there and just stand there and look at him. Like, put your hand out, help your lineman up, do something. But he just looks like he's lost.
Yeah,
he looks like Eli. He looks like Eli did. No emotion whatsoever. And I don't see it.
Question for you, Rob. Do you think it's happening that way because Sark just doesn't have the confidence in Arch to be able to just even, give the plays out in a huddle to the guys?
I thought that there's got to be something, because your running back is standing there right beside you, and he's looking at the sideline, and you can tell when he gets his signal, he gets to the left or to the right, or gets into the slot or wherever, and they're not. And Eli's just kind of sitting there. He's not even looking towards the sideline like he's trying to read lips or hear the call or anything. He's just. If anybody that has not watched him play, if they show that game from last week again on ESPN or whatever, of course tonight's Thursday night, they'll be showing other stuff. But watch him how he goes, and then watch Beck how he plays on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's a great illustration, because you can look at two different quarterbacks, one being older, more mature, played a lot of big football games, and you can tell by the way he carries himself on the field compared to the way Arch plays. You're exactly right, Rob. That's 100%.
I feel sorry for Arch, because he has had the weight of the world put on his shoulders. He would be better off if his last name was Smith or Jones, if his mother was the sister instead of his dad being the brother.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Well, the weird part about this schedule is, it's just as weak as last year, but the way it's set up to go is actually good for Arch, but bad for Texas. And what I mean is that basically all they have is that Oklahoma game in Dallas and a bunch of weak SEC opponents. And then in the last 3 weeks, they got at Georgia, then they're going to go up against Arkansas, and then they finish with Texas A&M. And I'm like, those are the three games right there at the end that you're really going to have to worry about. Because you know what? Arkansas pulls one or two upsets, they're going to be hungry. And Texas is too busy looking at Georgia and Texas A&M to even think about Arkansas between the two.
And here's the thing is that he doesn't seem to be getting any better. All the other teams are going to get better throughout the year. And if they don't get better, they're going to get beat.
Yeah.
Because the competition doesn't have to be great, but all you got to do is stay close and then screw up. I mean, he is just not. I just think that he may have too much pressure on him, and it's inside of his ears, and that's the reason why. Because the way that he's been coming up, he should have been starting as a true freshman. The hype that's been put behind him, and I hate to say it, but he's just not. Jerry Jones was putting all of his apples in that, and Dallas when he made that trade on right. That's not looking good.
That wouldn't be the worst decision that Jerry Jones makes.
Now, one thing a few weeks ago, y'all were talking about quarterbacks, and I just wanted to put this in there. We were talking about first-round draft picks to the number one, who was the number one overall draft pick that's made it to the Hall of Fame. Do you know how many quarterbacks have done that?
Maybe. Well, we know Peyton Manning.
Two. Peyton Manning and Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman. Yeah, I forgot about him.
And you know who?
This is the 60th year that Pro Football's had the draft, and there's only been two that's actually made.
Yeah, and you know number one. And you know what name I brought up, and we had to look at his stats and all. It was Jim Plunkett. Yeah, was the first pick in the draft, and he didn't make it to the Hall of Fame, and he has 2 rings.
Right, but he didn't get those rings with those teams either that drafted him.
He was the Redskins. He failed.
My point is,
it was the Redskins or Patriots?
The worst team of the league gets to draft you.
Yeah.
And then if you put you look at Peyton Manning did it and Troy Aikman, and look what they did their first year.
Oh, yeah.
They got beat to death. They got beat to death and didn't win but 1 or 2 ball games.
Yep.
You know, and then had stellar, careers.
Yep, that's exactly right.
I don't know that I would want to be the number 1 draft pick because you're going to the worst team in the league.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're now it's a little better because you're getting the rookie contract, so it's not really killing the franchise to sign you. But yeah, it's to me, I just feel like that they should change it, do something with it, because most of these guys that are coming out now, it's not that they're terrible, but they have no offensive line and they got hardly anybody to throw to, and most of them have terrible coaches, offensive coordinators, and all that. There's a reason they're bad.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Rob, we appreciate you calling, man. We appreciate you listening and all the good stuff. Keep texting, keep calling in, buddy, and we appreciate you, man.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. Talk to you later.
You too, buddy. Thank you, man. So when you look at the rest of the schedule, though, that's what I really wanted to look at because it does not get any easier. Jeff brought that up just a moment ago when he was talking to him. If you look at it, it's getting really tough. If Arkansas does turn around, you got Arkansas, you got Georgia, you got A&M, you got Oklahoma.
We got Vanderbilt.
I mean, yeah, let's look at it.
Mississippi State.
Yeah,
well, let's be honest. So let's be honest. We're 3 games are gone, okay? And these next 6 games, all I'm worried about is Oklahoma.
No, I'm not. Not for Texas. Absolutely not.
You think they're going to lose another game, possibly, other than Texas in the next 6?
If they play like they have been playing against Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt will give them a dog fight.
I was at the Vandy game last year. They gave us all we wanted in Nashville.
Right.
And they look good.
They look good and better. They look better. They have a mantra about them that is different than the Vanderbilts of past, for sure. That they believe they can beat you when they come. They're not just coming there to score points. They're coming to beat you, and that's the thing. I mean, and he's got to look good for them to win. That's it.
Yeah.
We're in a place now where you can't run the football and come back from. You got to be able to throw the football if you get down. And that's the thing. I mean, when you can't score, if you can't score 40 points on UTEP, standing back in the pocket and hitting your 5 stars over the shoulder, that's what you want to see. Then you want to be able to see some kind of run from your running back that goes straight down the field and imposes your will upon them. That's really what you got to see. And so, you can say what you want about Oklahoma. Yeah, you come in there playing against Oklahoma like they have been for the past 3 games, they're going to get curb stomped right there against Oklahoma.
Oklahoma scares me.
So if you go 4-2 in the next 6, you are 6-3,
and you're out.
And you're going at Georgia.
Yeah, and
you're really eliminated then.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't get any better. You know what I mean? It to start out number 1 like that, and I hate for your first day to just be, we're really we're growling on you a little bit. But realistically, man, when you look at it, they got to get it turned around. They got to get it fixed, and they got to get it fixed quick because you can't afford to lose to a team that's not.
No.
Okay, you lose to Oklahoma and you lose to Georgia, and you're hoping, obviously you got to have some help, but that's still salvaging a decent season. You're still okay. There's a good chance that the SEC is going to chew up each other. There's a good chance that the ACC is going to chew up each other. So you might be able to still sneak into the playoff.
Yeah.
But if you lose to somebody like Vandy, or if you lose to somebody like A&M, or if you lose to somebody else that you're not really supposed, Arkansas, whoever, you're in a place where there's just no possibility, because you go to, you're going to Georgia and it's a must win. You're playing A&M and it's a must win.
No.
Like those type of games, they can't be must win games. They have to be games that I could lose or win to be able to go forward.
I mean, I will say our defense is holding its own though right now.
Oh yeah.
At this point in time,
they're averaging 24 points per game offensively.
Yeah.
Right.
In this schedule.
Right.
24 points.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's at this point right now, and I know Sark, he's got to play the part. He's got to look the part. He can't look panicked, but he's got to be panicked inside.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
You got 3 weeks to turn around. I mean, for the most part, as far as I'm concerned, you got Sam, then we got to bye, and then we have Florida. I mean, Lagway's probably going to throw 5 or 6 more picks to our defense at that point in time, so our points can come from there. We don't have to do much on offense.
Yeah, I mean, but when you look at Florida, even that Florida game, it depends on what they do with Miami, and then it depends on what they do with their head coach, because you don't want a Miami team, or I'm sorry, a Florida team to come in that doesn't have the 5 turnovers and maybe executes 1 or 2 of those drives, because their defense is tough too. You know what I'm saying? So
they do have a good defense.
If you're able to get Arch ready for that game, and you're hoping that Lagway, if there's still Lagway at this point, you hope that happens, because, gosh, you go down and have a dogfight with Florida. Everybody else on your schedule says we can beat them.
Yeah, we'd be in trouble.
And that's the deal.
You're giving Florida too much credit. The bad news is this game is in the swamp. The good news is Billy Napier might lose his job next Saturday.
Right.
What are we, 2 days away?
2 days away.
Yeah. He could be done. Chance. And another thing, they got to buy before it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Billy Napier, he's done. I don't say he's done Saturday. Yeah, I'm going to go and say it. He's done Saturday.
Yeah, it's a good chance.
Sunday, he's gone.
That game's going to be ugly Saturday.
It's going to get nasty.
Got 2 weeks to prepare for Florida. I can't forgive him if Texas loses to Florida. I can't forgive him.
No.
I won't forgive him. I'll come up here in Cowboys gear next time.
And you know what? A real hater would say, "Oh, welcome to the SEC," but no.
No, you can't. You can't have a season like not with the 5 stars. Not with being here for 3 years. Sark, he's a mastermind. I love his offensive game plans. I love how he approaches, all of that. But I mean, realistically, it's not his first rodeo. No. You know what I mean? And the thing is that now, are we seeing now what he saw in practice last year? Because everybody said, why isn't Arch playing instead of Quinn Ewers?
Yeah.
Is it like, maybe, because how many 5-star quarterbacks did he lose because Arch was there?
We don't have a backup.
Yeah.
Really. There's no pressure on him because nobody can even name our backup quarterback right now. They all left, and then next year we have Diabell coming in, which is the number 1 recruit in the country, but he's not there this year.
Right.
So there's no pressure on.
No.
You can boo him all you want. They're not bringing anybody else in.
Yeah, and money's not a problem. It has probably never been a problem, but still, when you look at it, it's a scary time. And if you know what I mean, what you want to see this weekend is you want to see 44 points, 42 points, 50 points, 60 points. Run it up, Sark, if you can.
I need 50. I've got the 43.5 for Texas, so I need to go ahead.
But you got to throw the ball. What you don't want to see is 3 touchdowns ran by Arch Manning. You want 5 touchdowns in the air.
Air the ball out.
Yeah.
Downfield.
Well, Brian, we're going to have to take our break, man. We will see you next week. Thank you. Go visit the Lone Star Boil House. Tell them the Sports Blitz sent you, and he'll help you out with some pricing and some good food over there. When we come back, we've got some breaking news locally. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hello, this is Jenna.
Hey, Jenna, did you enter a contest to win tickets to watch the Jags play the Texans in Jacksonville this Sunday?
I did.
Well, guess what?
I guess I won.
You are a winner. You're going to go see the Jaguars.
Yay, that's so exciting. How random.
Have a great time at the game, Jenna, and keep listening for your chance to win tickets to see the Jacksonville Jaguars from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Thursday. Sunshine the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze at 9 miles per hour coming out of the southwest, and look for it to be 89. Tonight it will be clear skies with a temperature reaching 73 and a very light wind. Sunny tomorrow with a wind around 5 miles per hour and the high of 91. Saturday will have a high of 90 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Start your fall adventure in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. You're going to find the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Now offering 0% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or a new 2025 Kia Sportage. Bill Bird Kia, the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. The road is yours in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or 2025 Kia Sportage with $20.83 per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Qualities limited, cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/30/25.
The Rich Eisen Show. A rhetorical question, which means I already know the answer and it does not require an answer.
We'll give you one.
Yeah, I mean,
oh man, I really want to answer.
Yeah, do you think the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell were sending a message on Sunday? Do you? Our favorite Bill Burr soundbite.
Oh, do you?
They were sending a message.
Like Mighty Ducks. Not worth winning if you can't win big.
Rich Eisen weekdays starting at 11. Now on ESPN Northwest Florida. You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. If you have a problem with our hot takes, call us and say it to our face.
10 years from now, I'll be making a difference in this world while you'll be sitting there getting your diaper changed by your nurse.
The Sports Blitz is on the air. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back to the Sports Blitz. You're listening to Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We're having a great day here on Thursday, and it's an awesome day here in Panama City Beach, and we're excited about it. Now, we have some breaking news to share with you today. It's an awesome day and it's awesome news. And on the phone lines, we have Coach Jason Griffin from the Arnold High School Marlin football program. Coach, how are you doing today, my friend?
Well, I'm doing a lot better than I've been in a while, I'll tell you that.
Tell us why, Coach, because we heard some great news right before we came on air, and we immediately tried to get in touch with you. Thank you so much for answering the call and being on here. But tell us, Coach, exactly what's going on.
Well, this is funny because my wife and my children just got home from school, and they have no idea. So while I'm talking to you, my kids are going to hear it for the first time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, my suspension with the FHSA has been lifted effective immediately. I'm back on the sidelines.
Oh, man, what an awesome – because, Coach, you've been coaching as far as in practice. You're probably getting mauled by your kids right now, aren't you, Coach?
Well, these are my children, not my football. These are my actual children. I'm at the house right now. I'm about to go back to the TV game, and my kids have Little League football and cheer today. So these are my own children. My son's jumping around. They're very excited. That's the frustrating thing is, my wife, my children have been through hell.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my kids have been through it with this thing, with the things that have been said and what's transpired here. So, I'm very excited. My daughter's a cheer mascot. She's got a cheerleading uniform. My kids haven't been able to be on the sideline on the games. The things that, there's a lot of things been taken from me and my family. And so, I'm glad that's been remedied at least, at least after 4 games. It still hasn't been completely remedied. But at the same time, the people that have had it, been harmed the worst are my seniors, my football team. Those guys have. This has been a bad situation for those guys. And we're supposed to be in the kid business, and the kids have been the ones who've been hurt through this thing. So, I'm thrilled that the FHSA, their lawyer, my lawyer, were able to work something out today. And I'm excited to get back on the sideline. And I'm excited for those boys. It was pretty exciting when I got to tell those guys. We had a little quick team meeting today, and I was able to tell those guys. It was pretty exciting for them and for me.
Yeah, it sounds like it, Coach, and I can hear the excitement in your voice, and I know that, this has been a long toll on your family and on you personally as an individual, not just as a coach, but as a human being.
And the fact is that after having to sit out all this time, and because you've been coaching during the week, they allowed you to do that, right?
Oh yeah, I've done my job exactly the way that I've always done it. Other than the fact that on Friday nights I was not able to be there, and being the offensive coordinator, the guy that's designed this offense, that's been a challenging thing to figure out how to how to prepare and how to deal with that situation. I didn't think it'd be as challenging as it was, but I got to say that Josh Wright and Mark Stanton, the job that they've done stepping into an impossible and horrible situation has just been unbelievable. Mark has done a great job taking over the offense and under the circumstances that were way more challenging than I anticipated. And then Josh stepping in as the interim, what a great job. My entire coaching staff, really. I can't say enough about the character and the mentorship and what kind of men that I have on my coaching staff and the job that they did in this difficult situation. And leading our boys through something that was very confusing and very tough to deal with.
Yeah, you don't expect that kind of stuff to happen, and when it does happen, it is. It's just like anything else. When your leader has to be away, it's just a tough situation. But we're so thankful. There's been some people on Facebook that listen to the show regularly. They just are saying, congratulations, Coach, and they're sharing the love with you as well. We're getting a lot of hearts and thumbs up. And, I just will be honest with you. We're so excited about that. We're going to, I haven't even talked to my wife, but we're going to change our plans for Friday night, tomorrow night, and we're going to be over there to support you guys because y'all have a tough game coming up. Who do y'all face tomorrow night?
We're facing the Blountstown Tigers, who have assembled a pretty good squad over there. So it's going to be a tough challenge. I'm walking right into the Lions' den, but that's the only place I want to be. I want to be there with my guys, and I got to say that honestly, you talk about how the toll on me personally as a human. There's no way that I could have gotten through this without my wife. Yeah. Without her support and what she, all the work. I mean, she canceled clients and she gave up a lot of her own personal time to assist both me and our attorney in doing the things that needed to be done to get us where we are. So, I mean, honestly, I don't know that there's no way that I could have made it without her. I could spend all day talking about how important her support and really the support of the whole Arlo community. There are very few people out there that we came across that were negative about the situation. I've had so much love and support through this whole thing, and I'm grateful, extremely grateful that I've had the support that I've had.
Yeah, and that's the key, having your wife, standing right there beside you through thick and thin and really supporting you through that. That's wonderful. Behind every strong man is a solid, good woman. I mean, how many times we've heard the stories about that? And Coach, I'm going to brag on you just a little bit. The thing is that going through all of this, a lot of times people would kind of shy away from being out in public and that kind of thing. But when I saw you, 3 weeks back, and you were out there making sure that the kids in the community that play football there at your field had water, and you were jumping right in, helping moving tents, making sure that they had shade. Riding around, going and getting stuff in the golf cart, just there, a part of it. I know your son plays, and like you said, y'all are involved in that program over there with the Beach Marlins, but really just seeing you out there and you being, a community guy, that's really what stood out to me. And, after that day, I went home and told my wife, actually, I was just like, you know what? I don't know what's all going to happen, but at the end of the day, something will probably be good, and it'll all be good for Coach over there because, I could see that you care about your team, but you also care about your community.
Yeah, absolutely, and I appreciate that. I'm glad that shows because that is true. And, it's not like I committed some dastardly deed of, I wasn't accused of recruiting anyone. I never contacted anyone or had any, it wasn't like I did something that I felt was even wrong. At the time, I felt like what I did was appropriate. So, at no point did I bury my head in the sand and say, and had I done something wrong, I'd have been the first person to stand up and say, I did it and own it. And I think my players know that. I think anyone who knows me, knows that about me. But I don't think that was the case. So, I wasn't going to bury my head in the sand and I was going to continue on with and trying to set that example for my players. I've told them that life isn't fair. That's one thing I guarantee them. And things are going to happen that you don't think is fair, and you got to face that thing. And sometimes sometimes that unfairness just doesn't get resolved. But then every now and then that unfairness, the good guy gets a break. And so, I wasn't going to hide from it. I wasn't going to shy away from it. I was going to set that example for my program, for my community, but most importantly, my own children. I didn't want them to see their father, shy away from something that I felt was wrong. I felt this was wrong from the get-go, and I certainly wasn't going to shy away from that.
Yeah, and that tells true to your character and, who you are as a football coach. And, when you lead young men like that, you have to show them through adversity, through trials and tribulations of how to respond. And I think you've done that, and that's pretty good. Tell us a little bit about, are you still good with time? We've got about 4 minutes before we take our next break. Okay. Yeah. Tell us about your team. Give us some names of some of your players and who you lean on your offensive side of the ball, who you lean on your defensive side of the ball, just to kind of, give us a preempt for tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, we're really coming along in a lot of different ways, particularly on offense with our offensive line. I'll say I've seen the most growth out of that group that I've ever seen in my career from week to week, with Armando Torres, and Daniel Fedkoff being the kind of the leaders of that crew, because they are, other than Fedkoff, not a single one of them had any varsity experience coming into the season. Guys like Terrence Smith, Nate Clay, Mateus, all of these guys have really stepped up and came along. And, of course, we've got Darren Elder there on the offense, along with our wideouts, Colt McClellan, Truman Parsons. Quarterback, the returning quarterback there, Will Cotter. We've really got all the ingredients. That's what's been frustrating for me is that, for the first time in my career, I feel like I have probably the most dynamic team and the most weapons I've ever had, and I've been watching it on TV. So, that's been a little bit frustrating. And defensively, Josh Wright's done a great job, along with the rest of his staff, with Christian Peterson, Troy Kimbrell, Shen Holster, and those guys. Guys like stepping up at linebacker, Merritt Mosman. On the defensive line, Armando Cruz. We've in the secondary, Darryl Nerler again, and Nate Neely, who's also stepping over on the offensive side and making an impact for us now. So we've got a lot of guys that can make plays and can impact games, and I'm just excited about getting out there and being a part of it instead of watching it on TV.
Yeah, I bet you that's the biggest thing. I bet you tomorrow you probably won't. Tonight, I don't know how you sleep or whatever, but you probably won't sleep very good tonight. But you're going to be so excited. You're probably going to have to I don't know if you run through. I don't know how y'all open as far as you run through the sign or whatever. But Coach, you probably outrun all them boys to the sideline if you bust out with them tomorrow. I'd say.
Yeah, well, that's not something I normally do. That attention, Friday nights are for the boys. That's for them. That's it. They've worked hard. They've earned the opportunity to go be seen. I like to stand off. Yeah, I've never made it about Jason Griffin or made it about myself. I like to stand off to the side and let those guys, get the attention that they deserve. And so, but I do agree with you. I will be. Heck, it's Coach Peterson. We were saying to Coach office a while ago, and he pointed out, heck, it's been over a year since I coached a football game. So it's it's going to be a little bit new, but I tell you, I could not be happier for the opportunity, and I'm just grateful that even though it took a lot longer than I anticipated, I'm grateful to have some resolution on this thing and to be able to be out there with my guys and be in the fight with them. Good, bad, it's like I said. It really gives us an opportunity to be who we're going to be, who we were supposed to be. Now, good, bad, or otherwise, I may not make a hill of beans a difference. We may get worse, but at the same time, it's an opportunity for us to be who we're supposed to be, and I'm very excited about that opportunity.
Yeah, and this Blountstown team, like you said, they're very talented. I think they have, one Division I prospect, if not more than that. But I know that they are a tough task, and they're, and that's the key. I mean, when you play teams like that. Now, district doesn't start till next week. Is that correct, though?
That's correct. And we've got, like I said, I'm walking into the Lions Den. I've got to walking into Blountstown and then Choctaw. Two of the better teams in Northwest Florida. So, we got our work cut out for us. But again, no matter how it turns out, I'm so grateful to be there with those guys, no matter what the results are. We got two tough challenges. It's also opportunities for our guys. So I talked to our guys about, opportunity in life, and you want to answer when it knocks. And, we have two great opportunities ahead of us the next couple of weeks, starting with tomorrow night. And I'm just so grateful that I'm going to be there with them and to be a part of it.
Now, what level are y'all at? Y'all at 3A or 4A?
We're 5A.
You're 5A, okay. So what level is Mosley at?
Oh, wait a minute. Look, we're 4A. Mosley, I believe, is 5 or 6. They're a class
6A.
I think they're a class ahead, a class above us. Yeah.
Okay, that's why they're not district. Okay, I gotcha.
That's those are the easiest questions I've been asked in 2 months. So
no, but y'all had three three home games in a row, so that's really nice being at home.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled to be back at home tomorrow too.
And just like you said, I don't want to say you are the offense, but heck with it, you know. I mean, you're the one that formed the offense and organized it all.
Calls it.
And you know, y'all haven't been scoring, so that's been key to what's going to turn the season around.
And that's, you know, again, Mark Stan has done a phenomenal job. I can't say enough about him stepping into that. And like I said, I may not make a bit of difference in the world. We may even get worse, but at the same time, you know, there'll be no excuses. There'll be nothing to run from or nothing to hide from, and that's the only way I want it.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking this time. You know, we appreciate it. We're a fan of yours. We're a fan of your team. And, you know, like I said, we're going to change. Like I said, I might be in trouble when I get home, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll be there tomorrow rooting you guys on, and we're excited about it. And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people there. I'm sure the house is going to be packed, and there won't be a lackluster of cheering going on when you guys take the field. So we're excited about it. Thank you so much.
That'll include my own children down there cheering, and that's the best thing about it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate it. And, you know, I'm sure you've probably hugged more people today than you've hugged probably in the last 10 years or so, I would say.
You would be correct.
That's awesome, Coach. Well, listen, we appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow, and you know, good luck with Bluntstown as they come to town. You know, and but thank you so much for coming on and being with us, Coach.
Yep, anytime. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. And when we come back, we're going to discuss a lot more of what's going on in the college football realm. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 7T Studio Line. Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
Are you looking to invest in rare coins and precious metals? Well, look no further. Coin & Bullion Reserves is Bay County's trusted source for rare coins and precious metals. Located in the heart of Panama City, our showroom is stocked with a vast selection of gold and silver bullion, rare coins, and currency. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned collector, we have what you're looking for. Our sales staff has over 50 years of experience to help guide you through your purchase. Come and visit Coin & Bullion Reserves today and build your collection with confidence.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Football Saturday on ESPN Radio. It's a showdown in the SEC.
Arnold, deep shot to the end zone.
Jackson Arnold leads the 3-0 and 22nd ranked Auburn Tigers into Oklahoma to face his former team, the 3-0 11th ranked Sooners.
Kickoff Saturday, 2:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. they're number one. In the men's room,
I hope this place comes with toilet paper.
the Sports Blitz.
Oh, geez, this is going to be a photo finish.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're having a great day here on Thursday. Had the breaking news from the Arnold football program. Jason Griffin back as the head coach, reinstated, being able to go tomorrow night against Blountstown. It's going to be great. If you want to call in, you can on the Red 17's phone line, 850-215-6290. We're excited about that. As always, on Thursday, we have the Sports Blitz High School Football Player of the Week. And this week, Jeff, I want you to listen to this. I'll give you the stats first. So it's going to be, you know what, I'll tell you his name. And if I butcher the name, it's just going to be what it is. I'm from Alabama, so just kind of let it go.
It's a foreign language.
And you're Cajun, so
yeah, maybe it's a French name. Let's go.
Caleb Mozazinski. Okay.
Oh, that's not Cajun at all.
Yeah. So listen to these numbers. You ready for this? He was 9 of 14 for 128 yards, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. He also added 6 runs for 100 yards and 2 touchdown runs. And this is where it goes crazy. Are you ready for this? North Bay Haven is who we're talking about.
Yeah.
They won their first time in almost 2 years.
Whoa.
And then check this out. They scored 60 points, the most points that a football team at North Bay Haven has ever scored in the history of their program. So Caleb was balling out. He won the Player of the Week. We're going to be sharing his picture later on this afternoon. So, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for starters, he had 9 completions with 4 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
So 4 of his
the 9.
So we're looking at 44% of his passes were TDs.
Touchdowns.
Right. And he had 6 rushes for 100 yards, and 2 of those 6 rushes were TDs.
Yeah.
So 33% of his rushes were for TDs.
Yeah.
And they scored 60.
Yeah.
Wow.
For the first time in school history.
And, you know, we were in the break, and you said North Bay Haven is all I knew about this guy before we went into this. And you know what I said? I said, that's the magnet school.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they probably went at yearbook. Right. Like my high school did.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the deal.
I mean, these are smart kids.
Yeah.
You know?
But to their credit, their coach, who was their head coach, had a sickness, and so he had to step down.
Oh, wow.
And so they had to have one of the other coaches step up, and they won. They actually play tonight. So they play tonight at 7 o'clock over at Tommy Oliver Stadium against Weewaw.
Oh, wow.
And so, I was asking them, were they favored or anything like that? They said they didn't know. They don't really look at that they just go in and play. And that's the thing. So they're doing a great job over there. It's good to see them get a victory and, see them come away with a win. You know, that's what it's about, in high school football. When you're not always going to have the best team. You're not always going to win. You're not always going to have the largest school. And that's why they put it in the 1A, the 2A, the 3A, and so forth, is because of the students. And so, when you have a smaller school like that, that's just part of it. But when you look at them, when you look at Arnold, when you look at Bay High, when you look at Mosley, I mean, there's some really, Rutherford, there's some really good football teams here in Bay County. And there's a lot of talent. I mean, you've got the kid out of Mosley. He signed with Mississippi State. Last year, they had a kid that signed out of Mississippi State. Last week's Player of the Week, he's getting some college looks at some Division I schools.
Wow.
And that's the key. That's whenever you start getting recognized by Division I programs, and it's not always about Division I programs. It's just to be able to go play football and they pay for your schooling for the next years.
That's remarkable. You know what I mean? I don't know what the percentage is. It's probably like 0.0002 of people that get to go play, at the next level in college of football or baseball or basketball or whatever college athlete. You know what I mean? So not everybody can say that. And that's a big deal for these kids and being able to learn. We always talk about it, growing up, we played a lot. We played all the sports and all that. But it really does, youth football, youth baseball, youth basketball, all of these things, it really helps you become an adult. Like it really does, because it puts you in situations, because you're going to see failure.
Discipline.
Yeah, discipline. You're going to see, you've got a coach. In the real world, that's called a boss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't know where the coach is going to put you. The coach could put you in at first base. He could put you at shortstop. He could put you at right field. Or guess where? He could put you on the bench.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, how are you going to deal with that? You know what I mean? Like, it's life lessons.
And it's funny when they when work almost reflects sports now, because they say, oh, this is a team exercise, and all that at work. And it's like they want to try and get that energy from sports in the workplace.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that one reflects the other, but the other one reflects back.
Yeah, because when you look at these kids, they're growing up learning how to take initiative, and then they also are kind of like, you practice, and then we just throw you out there in the game, and we want you to perform the things that we taught you. And what does a boss do? They train you to do a job, and when you do it, they want to see if you're going to perform.
And they put you in the position where the team wins, like the organization wins. You're in a position, that's best for the company, that's best for the team.
Yeah, and that's the key. Realistically, that's the biggest key.
Do you know anybody? Do you have, I'll tell you right now. I have a friend of mine, and his son is at Centenary High School in Shreveport. I think they're Division II, I'm pretty sure, maybe Division III.
Do they even have Division 5, 6, or 7 in Louisiana, or does it just go up to like 4?
No, I'm talking about college.
Oh, okay.
This is college, Centenary College in Shreveport.
Okay.
Yeah, my buddy, he is a lineman, is a big kid. He's way bigger than me. Anyway, so, this is college. And then I have a cousin, and he's the backup quarterback at Arkansas State.
Yeah.
Do you have any friends that have like kids or whatever and all that at colleges?
I do.
Right now?
I was trying to think while you were talking, but at right now, I'm just trying to.
They might be somewhere. I've had friends that had kids that a girl was a softball pitcher at UAH, Alabama Huntsville.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And oh my God, they travel like crazy just to see their daughter pitch.
Yeah.
And it's exciting no matter what level you're at, really.
Well, and it's just like my son that's at the University of Kentucky. For his first 2 years, he was in the UK marching band.
Oh, cool.
And so, he's a great trombone player. He's like...
That's big time.
He's really good.
SEC bands, I'm not saying it's the elite, but they're definitely in the top, 3 as far as like conferences go, as far as bands go.
Yeah.
Because everybody, they talk about the Big Ten, but who's really the best? Is the HBCU, the Southwest Athletic Conference, with Florida A&M and Southern and Jackson State and all that, and Alabama State and Alabama A&M. Oh yeah, those guys. Have you ever seen those guys play?
I have.
What in the world?
Oh, those games,
it's a show.
Those games empty out after halftime because everybody's there for the halftime show. And once the second half of the football game starts, everybody's like, well, I guess it's over now. Let's go home.
It's crazy. And at the high school level, it's like that too at some of these schools.
Yeah, and that's the key. That's what it was at my at my son's school. They wasn't a great, they had a pretty decent program there, but their band, they had over 200 and something kids in their band.
Yeah.
And it was just like they competed, and it was a big deal. They competed for the state championship. They won back-to-back state championships in the band in Kentucky. And because it's like a big deal, you like go to all these different things, and then they have it at like Louisville or UK or EKU or Western Kentucky. They'll rotate stadiums where they have these big band competitions for the state championships. And so, like, it's a big deal. So either way, with kids getting involved in something, getting off the stinking tablets, getting off playing. You know, there's nothing wrong with kids on tablets. There's nothing wrong with kids doing Fortnite and all that games and stuff. But if that's all they do, you know what I mean? That's kind of the problem. So when you get a kid out there learning these life lessons, whether they end up playing professionally, whether they end up going to college to do it, it doesn't really matter, because you are right. You're building, you know, it's like what Coach Jason Griffin was just talking about, building young men and showing them the right way and showing them through adversity. It really is. It's about life. It's a life lesson.
So back to those stats, that's crazy. I mean, even with the incomplete passes the guy throws, 14 attempts.
Yeah.
And 6 rushes. That's 20 times he had the ball to do something with it, to the end result. I mean, I know he touched the ball a lot more than that.
Right.
Because he's handing the ball off, pitching it, doing whatever. But 20 touches, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's 30% of the time you're getting a TD. I'd like to see what he does against Weewaw.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll be able to know. We'll give an update tomorrow. I'll check the scores and see what the box score is. And obviously, we've talked about it. North Bayhaven has not been very good in the past few years, and it's so good to see them get their first win in the last couple of years. It's so good to see their team looking better. So either way, pretty awesome. When we come back, we're going to be talking to the Mosley head coach over there. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Text in now on the Red 7T's studio line. 850-215-6290. You're home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Sunday, it's an NFL doubleheader. First, the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. Coverage starts at 3. Kickoff at 3:25. Followed by the 0-2 Chiefs at the New York Giants. Sunday Night Football. Coverage starts at 6:30. Right here on your home for the NFL on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN. Touchdown! Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Thursday. Sunshine the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze at 9 miles per hour coming out of the southwest, and look for it to be 89. Tonight it will be clear skies with a temperature reaching 73 and a very light wind. Sunny tomorrow with a wind around 5 miles per hour and the high of 91. Saturday will have a high of 90 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Start your fall adventure in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Our SUV family is built for all in adventures and endless possibilities. Stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. You're going to find the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Now offering 0% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or a new 2025 Kia Sportage. Bill Bird Kia, the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. The road is yours in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or 2025 Kia Sportage with 2083 per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited, cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/30/25.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Falls loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
The Gators renew their rivalry with the Miami Hurricanes.
Quick race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10 with 5. Touchdown, Gators.
On your home for Florida football.
Gators at Hurricanes. Saturday, kickoff at 6:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. Now back to the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
heard the sound. It's time for the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. It is 5:02, and you made it through. You got one more day into the weekend, baby. We're excited about it. We're pumped up. We've been talking a lot of sports here. We've talked a lot about local sports. We're happy in the building here on this fine Tuesday in Panama City Beach. Don't forget at 5:20, that's right, you heard me, at 5:20, right after that break, we will be having Coach Tommy Joe Whitten from Mosley High School. He'll be joining us. We're going to be talking about their upcoming game against Escambia County over there at Emmett Smith Field. And we'll be discussing that a little bit later. But right now, Jeff, we've got to start looking at it. We haven't talked about it. We've held off. We've mentioned it a little bit. We nibbled on it just a little bit. But we've got to look at this AP Top 25. And I know we've talked about how in the world can Notre Dame be still ranked, being 0-2, having not won one single football game all year long so far. Obviously, they know something we don't, or they see something that we don't, or they're thinking that who beat them is really good. But when you start looking at it, they don't have but Texas A&M ranked at number 10.
Who moved 6 spots because of that win. So they were 16 before that.
Yeah, so they moved 6 spots up, and then Notre Dame moved what?
They moved
16 down.
16 down.
They moved 16 down. So they
24. So they went from 8 to 24.
But they had already lost to Miami.
And they lost 4 spots for that, from 4 to 8.
So they went 4 to 8.
I think it was 4.
Yeah, because they were 5th. That's what it was.
Okay,
they were 5th. So they lost 3 spots to Miami after losing that game.
Yeah.
And realistically, when you watched that game, you could tell Miami was the better team for sure.
Yeah, they were.
That was no doubt. And then obviously the Texas A&M game, having to beat them with a last-second touchdown, that was a part of the deal.
They looked the most professional for losing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, I really was looking at Freeman. I was like, he's got it together. But they just got the L.
But do you think it?
No, I think they should not be ranked.
Okay, good. I'm glad that we cleared that up. But do you think the reasoning behind it is because of their schedule, because of how weak their schedule is going forward?
Oh, no. They're not looking forward. They're just looking back. That's what the guys are looking at. But I think there's just people that are unrealistic about giving them points, because apparently there were people that really ranked them a lot higher. And most of the voters did not rank them at all.
Yeah.
So, I believe that if you have, like, let me look at how many voters there are right here. This is the AP, and they have 66 voters.
Yeah.
I would almost say, oh, no, you can't even do that. I would say if you take away the person who gave each team their highest ranked and each team their lowest ranked, and just excluded that out of the point system.
That you might get the actual.
That you'll get the actual, because there's always one person who's actually biased out there. And they might not just be biased towards the team, but like an LSU guy might vote for Clemson because it's going to help out the LSU strength of schedule.
Right. So let me ask you this. Looking at it, obviously we had Brian on earlier. Mm-hmm. Looking at seeing Texas at number 8, to me, watching their field play, watching their body of work, do they to you? Because they don't to me. There's no possible way that Texas right now, as they are this week, looks like a top 10 team going in anywhere. Yeah. I don't care what you look like. Strength of schedule, you can look at FPI, you can look at all this different stuff. There's no way you can tell me that Texas is a number 8 team in the country.
Generally, yes. But the problem is, same thing with Florida State at 7. But the problem is that, what the next question that's followed up behind that? Okay, well, who behind them belongs in front of them? And you have to have supporting evidence that teams that are ranked below them deserve to be in front of them.
Yeah.
And, there's teams like Illinois who you kind of favor more than most people.
Yeah.
And then there's other teams that I might favor, like Utah, that I think that they're underrated,
Yeah.
Well, and how many of these are just writers that can't eat crow? That are just saying, well, we put them at number 1. We can't throw them out of the top 25 already. It's only been 3 weeks.
Yeah. And I was actually shocked that Oregon dropped 2. But I know Georgia beat Tennessee barely. And Miami beat a decent team in South Florida, a team that is going to go to a big bowl but won't go to the playoffs.
So let me ask you this. If South Florida, they were ranked last week, right? And they were,
they beat Florida and they beat Boise.
America's team for a little while there.
Yeah,
everybody
was a Cinderella story.
Yeah, everybody was talking about them. But then Miami curb stomps them, basically. And
they scored 12. And what did Miami score? 34?
Yeah. So, I mean, and it wasn't close. I mean, they shut it down.
Somewhat of a blowout. Not a complete blowout, but a blowout, we'll say.
So let me ask you this. With seeing the Georgia-Tennessee game and seeing how close it was and how Georgia,
responded.
pretty much let them off the hook. I mean, because he missed the field goal and then went on in overtime and made the same distance field goal. I mean, I think it was 42-43.
Yeah.
Obviously, to win the game is a little bit more pressure. But if Georgia is the number 5 team in the country, how is it that Tennessee is ranked 15th below Alabama, who lost by way bigger margin to a Florida State team who now is ranked 7th?
You're right.
But you've got 2 teams that play 2 top 10 teams that they think is the top 10 teams, Georgia and Florida State. Alabama's game wasn't even really close.
So here is wherein lies the problems, because I've seen it not just last year, but many years over and over again, where one team, like let's say, for instance, LSU beats an Auburn team by 3, but then they turn around and they beat, Ole Miss by 20. You can't equate numbers and these teams, because what will happen is Auburn will go around and lose to Ole Miss,
right?
Or let's say they all round robin each other, because there's been many times that's happened. Even last year in the ACC, I believe it happened. You can't equate by numbers like that, and just because LSU beat Clemson by 7 and Georgia Tech beat Clemson by 3, does that mean LSU's 4 points better than Georgia Tech? No. And in that instance, even if it's 3 to 7 points, which is a single score, where would you rank Georgia Tech behind LSU? Like 3 or 4 spots to be a lot closer than they are right now, right?
Yeah.
So the point system is not really valid as far as you're looking at it. So I want you to pick 2 of those 25 teams and tell me who's overrated in that ranking right there.
Obviously, as far as where they are, where they're ranked at this moment.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it right off the top. Number 12, Iowa State.
I knew you would go there.
Is not the 12th best team in the country. If you're telling me that they can beat Tennessee, you've lost your ever-loving mind.
Or Alabama.
Or Alabama, or Ole Miss, or, I don't know. I think Vanderbilt would probably beat them.
Ooh.
I think Vanderbilt would probably beat Iowa State. So, that's one. The second team that I think that probably deserves to be higher, I'm going to go with Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech should be a top 15 team. Obviously 18 is right there, but still, I think Georgia Tech, with what they're doing and how they're doing it, I think that's a really good spot for them, a 15 and above, I would say right now, because if you played them, you'd be in yourself for a ball game. It's just like last year whenever they played Georgia and they played them so tight into those overtimes. That's basically the same team that's come back, and really when you look at them, they look really good. Did you hear the quote that Brent Key, their coach, gave yesterday when he was asked about, beating Clemson and how does it feel and all that kind of stuff? He said that because he was at Alabama, so he was an offensive line coach for Alabama with Coach Saban, and he said, "Well, I learned this from Coach Saban that a lot more people die going to Mount Everest than actually make it." And he said, "So we can't worry about making it. We got to, or we can't worry about getting up the hill. We can't worry about what we do until we get to the top." So, basically saying, we got to move on to the next game. We got to move on to the next game.
So I'm going to talk about a lot of teams on this list that I don't believe they should be where they're at. Illinois at 9.
You think they should be higher?
That should be lower. I mean, they should not be. Yeah, they don't deserve a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's part of its history, sure.
Right.
Yeah. I get a lot of hate for this one.
So hold on,
Oklahoma.
Rewind it for just a second.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this because I don't want to miss this point.
I think of Jeff George when I think of Illinois.
Right.
And that's been 30 years almost.
Yeah, it's been a long time ago.
A long time.
So if Illinois blows out Indiana, will you change your thought on that or not really? Is it because you said Indiana's probably not that good.
Yeah, they're not that good. Yeah. They'd have to beat them by 20.
So if they beat them by 20, they're a top 10 team.
They're
in your mind or close.
Yeah, they could be a number 10 or 11. Yeah, right up in that range, maybe.
I got
maybe.
You. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna get hate for this next one, Oklahoma.
You think they should be higher?
No, I don't think they're that good. And then Michigan, same deal with them. That's who they beat. Oklahoma beat Michigan. That's what they're running off of. Michigan, not that high either.
Yeah.
Michigan Eddie can call in. I don't care.
So do you think Michigan should be out of the top 25?
No, I just think it should be like number 23 or so.
Yeah.
Where are they at?
21.
18?
They're 21.
Oh, they're 20. That's not that far.
Yeah, so I mean.
But USC hadn't played anybody.
And they're 25th.
But they belong a lot higher than 25th. And Georgia Tech.
Why? Why does USC belong higher than 25th?
Because they're averaging like 63 points per game. They're the highest scoring team in all of college, probably Division I AA included.
But you just said they don't play anybody.
Sure. And same thing with Louisville. Louisville is getting 25 points. They aren't even in the top 30 if you really count out to go down. But Louisville is a good enough team to be on that edge at 25.
Okay.
Louisville deserves to be higher. Who's Georgia Tech, obviously. I go with you on that one. So, but you know what? We're only, 3 games into it? Most of these teams have played 3 games. I think Notre Dame and Iowa State are the only really big exceptions,
Yeah.
So we're barely a quarter into the season. There's a lot of play to happen, and then not this weekend, but the next weekend is we're going to start seeing who's pretenders and who's not. And, I mean, even in this weekend's games, who is it? Is Auburn playing Oklahoma?
Auburn and Oklahoma.
That's one. That's a telltale.
So with you, that's an interesting take because I didn't know you stood there with Oklahoma. I did not know that. I didn't know you're not saying they're
no, because I don't think Michigan's all that. Is Michigan the 4th best team in the Big Ten? No, they're not.
Illinois is.
Well, USC might be it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see because we're going to see how this plays out. But Illinois' schedule kind of is easy for them to make it to the playoffs. But when they're 10-2 and they're in the Big Ten, they're probably going to get that favorite status and they're going to slip in at number 11 or 10.
So let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt.
Ooh.
So they're at 20.
Yeah.
But to me, Oklahoma, definitely Iowa State, Ole Miss, Alabama, Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think all of those games would be close. I think the only for sure is that they would beat Iowa State. I'm not sure if they would beat any of the other 4.
Yeah.
But I think that they would definitely be in the game of all those other 4.
Well, coming into the season, we thought that the Gamecocks would probably beat the Sooners.
Yeah.
And the Commodores just beat them by 24.
Right.
But now we're talking about equality with the points like I was talking about earlier. Just because Vandy beat South Carolina and South Carolina can beat Oklahoma, Oklahoma might be able to beat Vandy, and we're sitting at a round robin, they all got a loss.
But remember, they did lose their quarterback early, off the bat. So that makes a big difference because if every single team that you played lost their top guy at quarterback, it doesn't matter whether it's high school, college, middle school, park ball. If you lose your starting quarterback in park ball, most of the time, your offense is going to – but that they didn't lose their defense. How did A&M give up so many points to Vanderbilt? That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
so
you mean South Carolina.
South Carolina, rather.
31.
That's a lot of points.
Now, the only time, there's very few exceptions. Of course, the Vandy game against Alabama, they scored, 44 or something stupid like that. That's a very big exception. Vandy has won by scoring 24 points before, but 31's a little bit extra. You're right.
Let me ask you this real quick. So Kirk Herbstreit every week comes out with his top 5 teams, and I know how much you love Kirk. So
I don't like Kirk anymore. I started to like him because he was getting unbiased, but what he said about this last weekend, I'm losing my mind on him.
So let me ask you, do you think
what in the world?
LSU, Penn State, Ohio State, Miami, and Georgia, that's who he says is the top 5 teams in the country. Your LSU Tigers, Kirk Herbstreit, has said that they are the number 1 team in the country.
Let's give some respect out. First one is Ohio State, who I don't like. They got to be above LSU. Georgia, who won the SEC last year, has won 2 national titles since the last time LSU won a national title, or the SEC, for that fatter, Mac the fatter, because it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. Georgia and Ohio State have to be above LSU. And AP doesn't even do that for Georgia. So, yeah. If you have LSU at number 1 or 2, nah, forget it. No, not happening.
Okay, so with that being said, we've got to look at the Bet MGM. Obviously, I'm not a big bettor or
best
whatever,
odds.
but the best odds right now as we sit, and tell me how you feel about this. You got number 1, Ohio State. Second is Georgia. Third is Penn State.
Okay.
How about this? Fourth is still Texas.
What?
Fifth is Oregon. Sixth.
I cannot bet against Texas. Sorry. Brian just left here, and I'm already talking trash about the Longhorns.
Yeah. Now you got, after Oregon, you got LSU.
Okay.
Then you got Alabama.
Yeah.
Then you got Tennessee.
Yeah.
Then you got Texas A&M. And then coming in last is your boys from Norman, Oklahoma.
I'm surprised they're that high.
Yeah, so Ohio State, Georgia, and Penn State, they're saying those are the top 3 teams that have the best track.
The biggest wrongs I have on there would be Texas and then Oklahoma in that whole scenario there.
So you think A&M, after watching them beat Notre Dame at night, they're legitimately a top 10 team, top 10 opportunity to win the national title?
Yeah, because we were going to talk about equality before, which I was against. Where did Notre Dame lose to Miami? In Miami. A&M beat them by more points at their own house.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, does that mean Texas A&M is better than Miami? Probably, maybe not. I mean, if they play 10 times, who you taking, Miami or Texas A&M, and how many times? 5 and 5?
It'd either be 5 and 5 or 6 and 5 or 6 and 4. One
That's
of the
a close call.
Yeah, either one. Now we'll see what Miami does.
They played
Florida
each other
this weekend.
They played each other 2 years ago, but it's different coaches.
Yeah, different deal.
Well, Miami had the same coach, but not A&M.
Well, it's just going to be curious to see what happens over this weekend, because you'll have Auburn, an actual top 25 team, playing against Oklahoma, and you can hear that game here on ESPN Northwest Florida on Saturday. So that's a good deal. So if you're riding down the road or you're going from place to place, you can do that. But I will tell you, I think that possibly when you look at those games, that's really where it's going to be, I don't know. Let me tell you this real quick before we go to the break. Did you know that this time is the first time that an 0-2 team has been ranked in the top 25 since 1988?
Wow. So that's believable.
1988, Michigan was 0-2, and they were still ranked in the top 25. But Notre Dame is the first one since 1988 that's been ranked in the top 25 of all of that. So that's just crazy.
And it's funny? I bet you one of those 2 losses that Michigan had in 1988 was the opening season loss to Notre Dame in the last seconds along the right sideline.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's irony that Notre Dame's involved in that.
Yeah, they're the ones involved in it. Yeah.
Because let me tell you, they had drag-out fights in the 80s. Notre Dame, Michigan is severely underrated as far as a rivalry goes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take our next break, and when we come back, Coach Tommy Joe Whitten from Mosley High School, the Dolphins, going to be in the building. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And now,
this is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70s studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida broadcasts the biggest and best games of the week. We're your headquarters for premier matchups, huge rivalries, and fan favorites.
Saturday, it's Auburn and Oklahoma. Kickoff at 2:30, followed by Florida at Miami.
The Gulf Coast headquarters for college football is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Clear tonight with a low near 75 and a wind 1 to 5 miles per hour. Sunshine tomorrow morning, a light breeze out of the north-northeast, and a temperature of 86. A bit hotter in the afternoon and evening around 88 with mostly sunshine and a wind out of the west-southwest around 8 miles per hour. Sunny Saturday, a light breeze and hot around 88. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
For exciting college football, the best boiled seafood, and the most game day fun, it's Lone Star Boil House. Watch the games on their huge Jumbotron. Challenge your friends to beer pong, cornhole, and oversized Connect 4 in their new adult lounge. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for incredible wings, the best boiled seafood, and a new breakfast menu. Saturday and Sunday starting at 9. Crush the follow on Facebook to catch huge game day specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
In a world full of noise, one name cuts through it all.
Amplify AI.
We help HVAC, plumbing, and home service pros get found fast. More leads, more calls, more results. This ain't just marketing. It's AI-powered performance.
Amplify AI.
Hear the roar.
Call Lee at 850-299-1269. Amplify AI.
That bear ain't just for show.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio. It's a showdown in the SEC.
Arnold deep shot to the end zone.
Jackson Arnold leads the 3-0 and 22nd ranked Auburn Tigers into Oklahoma to face his former team, the 3-0 11th ranked Sooners.
Kickoff Saturday, 2:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the new Sports Blitz. Call in with your questions, hot takes, and rants at 850-215-6290. The Sports Talk Monster.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget you can call in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. We're having a great day here on Thursday in Panama City Beach and in Bay County. And speaking of Bay County, we have the opportunity, awesome opportunity, to be able to talk to the head football coach of the Mosley Dolphins, Coach Tommy Joe Whidden. Coach, how you doing on this great, beautiful Thursday?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you having me on.
Oh, man, I can hear it already. So listen, Coach, I know that you practice during the times when we're on, and I know you're probably so busy that you don't get a chance to go back and check it out on the ESPN app or be able to check it out on Facebook. But whether you know this or not, you kind of are a topic of our discussion a lot of times. I bring you up all the time, Coach, and the reason is because you got the greatest high school football coach name out there, Coach Tommy Joe Whidden. And then when you call in, your voice is hoarse. You sound like you've been hollering and screaming at all them kids, and I just love it. And then, you know, we always, and I always say this is what I always say, but the bromance stops right there because you're an Auburn Tiger fan. So, but anyway, it's so good to have you. Coach, you got a big one coming up. Y'all beat Navarre last week, 36-16, got back in the win column. How's the team looking going forward right now? How y'all feeling?
No, I feel like we've had two really good weeks going on the road past 2 weeks, you know, bouncing back. And again, just, you know, whenever you go on the road, it's a little bit different routine. throughout the course of the day, different environment, playing, different things you have the other teams ban, different distractions you have to deal with. And I feel like our guys have done that, handled that really well, played really well. And obviously having to do it for a third week in a row, which is, again, a little bit unusual. But, the way that we've taken care of business the previous 2 weeks gives us a lot of confidence going into this Friday.
That's awesome. How does that work? Is it because you guys have an athletic director? Because me and Jeff, we had talked last week about it. You guys have like an athletic director, and he sets your schedules. Is that how that works, or is it done through the state?
No, as the head coach, I'm able to make our own schedule. And but the thing that just makes it a little bit unique about Bay County is having to share. Three teams having to share Tommy Oliver. We have to coordinate our schedules. Just making it be able to work, so we all got an even number of home games and even number of Friday night games. It originally when the schedule came out last year, we were supposed to be going to Escambia last year and playing Escambia at home. But then again, just trying to work out homes in a way, not only with our schedule, but Bay's schedule and Rutherford's schedule, we had to flip that. And then now we're on the other side of it, having to go 3 weeks in a row on the road.
I got you. Okay, so that's how it works. That's good to know. I appreciate that. So I got to come over at Mosley and meet JP, and he had another great night on last Friday night. Talk a little bit about him. Let's dive into your quarterback. I mean, he's a junior. He's been in the program. How's he doing this year as far as, because this is his first year to take over the reins as a starting quarterback. Isn't that correct in that?
Yes, he is. JP's been doing great. JP's had a lot of success in our program at the lower levels. I mean, I think, JP's two best attributes is A, he's a really smart kid, makes really good decisions, and B, he's really accurate with the football. So far on the season, he's thrown 13 touchdown passes to just one interception. He's completing 75% of his passes. Again, both of those things just speak to his accuracy and his decision making. And again, JP's fortunate to have really good playmakers around him. Has 2 Division I tight ends, has a D1 wideout, a talented running back, and he does a great job of getting those guys the ball out in space, and those guys make a lot of plays for him. But just really, really proud of JP, the way he's playing, his leadership, and just the command of the offense that he has.
So let me ask you this, as far as like your program as a whole. I haven't dove into this with you, and I think I know the answer. But so as far as like with your JV team and any of your the team below you, they're running your offense, right? You're going to have them learning it as soon as they get into the school, so that they can be ready to, whenever it's time to step up to play varsity, whether they're a sophomore, junior, senior, whatever. Is that how you kind of got it working? So he's familiar with the offense that you've set because he's played JV. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, for sure. So at Mosley, we're fortunate enough. We have 3 teams. We have a JV and a freshman team. We got about 150 kids total in our program, and those guys run the exact same offense that we do on the varsity level. Now, obviously, it's a little bit dumbed down version of it, but all the calls and the reads and everything's exactly the same. And playing quarterback at Mosley, it's a year-round deal. We meet before school twice a week at 7:00 in the morning during the off season, because again, I think I tell our quarterbacks there's no such thing as a good football team with a bad quarterback, and I think you really have to invest in that position, and that's someththen that we do. And then JP's done, like I said, done a great job in just his development and his just overall improvement through our program.
So let me ask you this, and this might be a little bit more detailed because I love it. I love the high school game. I love the college game. I love all that. So I was at the actual Mosley Bay game. I come over there and watched you guys play. And so do you give him two plays, or do you give him an opportunity to check out of something, or are you looking at it and then he'll look over at you before he takes the snap?
I'd say yes to all of that. In our offense, we have multiple plays called at one time to make sure that we can make sure we get ourselves in and out of the right plays. There's sometimes where he has the opportunity to get us in and out of the right play. There's times where I'm getting us in and out of the right play from the sideline. But again, with JP's intellect, it gives him, a little bit longer leash to be able to make some decisions out there on the field. So that's definitely a part of what we do offensively.
We're talking with Coach Tommy Joe Whidden of Mosley High School here. And, Coach, what I was surprised about was I knew because I'd come over and JP had won Player of the Week for us, but I noticed that number 4, Sammy Chisholm, he was running the rock that night. I mean, when you needed those short yardage or even when you just needed a good run to make sure that you guys didn't look, stay one-dimensional where you were throwing the football so well at the beginning, with him running the ball so hard. Tell us a little bit about Sammy because, man, he was really running that thing hard.
No, Sam's had a great season. I think he's rushed for over 100 yards every single week. That Bay High game, he rushed for 171. I want to say the next week he was 162, and this past week at Navarre, he rushed for 111. I think he's got 9 touchdowns on the year. And again, you can see Sammy's a smaller back, but he's a Swiss Army knife, can do a lot of different things. Like he can run between the tackles, he can make plays out in space, and then he can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. So he's a real weapon. But I think Sammy's real success in this season started in his offseason. He was one of the hardest working dudes this offseason, really worked on his speed, really worked on changing his body, and I think he's getting to see the fruits of that during this football season, with his play and his production on Friday nights.
Those are some big numbers, and I know that your team has pretty much been offensive powerhouse for the first 4 games.
Yeah.
But Escambia is a defensive team. And have you, warned your team not to look past this team? That I know they're I don't know if they're 0-3 or whatever their record is. It's not very good.
They're 0-3. Yeah, that's definitely been the message. I mean, they're two defensive tackles, their nose man and their 3 technique, both got D1 offers.
Wow.
Both are going to be the two biggest defensive linemen that we faced all year. So, they're just really harping on the offensive line, having great pad level, having great energy, having great ball get off. They got a Division I corner as well. So they've opened up with a little tough schedule and, haven't been on the winning side of things, but they're still a talented club with a lot of really good players on both sides of the ball. They got a lot of overall team speed. Offensively, their wideouts can really go. They're the type of guys that if you miss one tackle, it can turn into 6 points real fast. So, we're doing a great job of just keeping them in front of us and getting them on the ground.
It's good to know that you're not looking forward because that Milton Panthers the following week is a what do you call it? Not conference
district.
District game, yeah. And that's a tough team, right?
Oh, no, they definitely are. I mean, Milton's much improved. They're undefeated so far on the season. But again, our sole focus has been on Escambia, going over and playing in Pensacola. And, we're expecting to get their best shot.
Yeah, and that's, you get to go over there and play on Emmitt Smith Field. Everybody knows who Emmitt Smith is. And when I told Jeff that's where y'all were playing, his eyes kind of lit up a little bit. But I do want to talk about it because those guys on that offensive line, they sometimes do get overlooked. Tell us a little bit about who anchors that offensive line.
Yeah, on our offensive line, it's Tristan Steele at right tackle, Jace Jernigan at right guard, Jaron Jernigan, his cousin, at center, James McMillan at left guard, and DeMarcus Smith at left tackle. And, Jace was our only returning starter on the offensive line. We got 4 new starters up front. Just been really pleased of just how those guys have been playing. They've continued to get better every single week. And obviously have done a great job of protecting JP and opening up a lot of running lanes for Sammy. And again, with just the challenge for that group is just let's continue to get better every single week. But it's a great group of guys, real unselfish football players. Like you said, they don't get a lot of credit, and named in the paper, but they're doing a great job for us, and they're really fun to coach. I always tell everybody my favorite part of practice is the time that I get to go work with the offensive line. Time seems to fly because, again, just no egos, hardworking dudes. They're not worried about scoring touchdowns, no prima donnas, and just solely focused on trying to make the team the best it possibly can be.
Now, you had a lineman, maybe he's a defensive lineman. His name's Brock. Is that right?
Brock Morgan.
Yeah, he's a defensive lineman, right?
No, he's an offensive lineman.
Oh, okay. So he's a second string, and he's a big kid.
Yeah, no, he's a big boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's great that you even have backups like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're fortunate to have some depth and some quality guys. And if some guys need a spell, they can go in there and give them a break.
Yeah, we're excited about it. We're going to be rooting for you. We'll be checking it out, making sure that you guys bring home the victory, because we are definitely excited about that. Now, the last time you were on, we talked about a little bit about college football, and if it's okay with you, Coach, I think we've asked you enough coaching questions. Let's get the fan side of Coach Tommy Joe Whidden on here a little bit. And what do you think about these Auburn Tigers? They're going to be going and facing Brent Venables and them Oklahoma Sooners with a top quarterback, John Mateer, looking like a Heisman candidate already after 3 weeks.
Yeah, this weekend, I mean, as much as I'm an Auburn fan, I don't think it's looking too good for the Auburn Tigers. You know, offensively, you know, versus the past 2 weeks versus kind of lesser teams, I felt like we haven't really been efficient and explosive offensively. I thought the best game that we looked was in the Baylor game.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma, man, the Mateer kid, man, he looks legit. He looks like he can make a lot of plays in a lot of different ways. Looks like the ball comes out of his hand really well and extremely accurate. So I think Auburn's definitely going to have their work cut out for them. Going to Oklahoma. Now, if they can come out with a win, obviously that should give them a lot of confidence and prove that they're an SEC contender. But that's to me, that's what they're going to be up against going into a tough environment. And offense, to me, they're going to have to score a lot of points because it appears Oklahoma can score a lot of points.
Okay, so SEC is going to a 9-game schedule next year, so they're going to have 3 rivalry games they're going to have to play every year. Alabama and Georgia are definitely 2 of those teams. Who would you like to see? Would you like to see Florida, LSU, or Ole Miss, or who would you like to see as your 3rd rivalry game?
I mean, I'd say Mississippi. Can you take Mississippi State? And I say that too. I got a player at Mississippi State and another player that's Adam Land, who's committed to Mississippi State. But I will say this: when the 1 year I worked at Auburn and of all we flew to most of our games, but going to Starkville, that was a bus ride. I think it's close proximity to Auburn. I think it makes a lot of sense for both football teams. And if I got to choose, that would definitely be the one that hopefully they would be able to draw.
Bama wants Mississippi State too, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, the way things are going with Kalen DeBoer, I kind of want Mississippi State too. So we may have to flip for that one. But Coach, when you look at that Auburn team, I mean, obviously Hugh Freeze has got his style of quarterback. Obviously Jackson Arnold playing against his former team. You know, the big thing to me as far as Oklahoma, and you speak on this, I'm sure, but with being a coach. But, like, when they brought over Mateer from Washington State, and it was kind of cool that they brought the offensive coordinator over with them. So they were, like, specific in what they were doing. And I believe that's been the success for Oklahoma because nobody really had them coming in, being as good as they've looked so far. But don't you think that's probably, like, Brent Venables should get, like, a big attaboy for bringing in an offensive coordinator with his quarterback, knowing what kind of talent Mateer is?
No, I think so. I think that, in the transfer portal age and guys changing teams so much, I think any bit of continuity that you can have is a massive advantage. And so obviously with those 2 guys being on the same page and hopefully they've worked together long enough that they can think and have the same mindset, I think that's just gives you an advantage on your competition. And I think they've seen the benefit of just how fast and how quickly they started. I want to say Utah has done the exact same thing where they hired an offensive coordinator and brought the quarterback with him, and I think you can kind of see the same thing with Utah. I know they got a big game with Texas Tech this weekend, and I think that's another team that's playing really good football right now because of what you just talked about, bringing bringing in the offensive coordinator and bringing the quarterback with him at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's exactly what they did too. Real quick, we're going to go ahead and go to our break, but give us what you think is going to happen with those Miami Hurricanes and them Florida Gators, since we are in the state of Florida.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be close. I think early in the season, I think Miami has really surprised a lot of people with just how Carson Beck has played. I think he's got a fresh start and turned over a new leaf. But just Miami's and Coach Saban pointed this out on game day, just how physical and dominant they've been in the trenches and just running the ball. I don't think there's a lot. Maybe Georgia Tech is a little bit like that, but just their physical. That's a hard thing to simulate in practice that most teams are not going to be ready for. And then just having that physical presence, and then Carson Beck just being able to throw the ball vertically down the field, they've looked really, really good. I think Miami is looked really good. I don't see them slipping up. I think they look like a team that's focused. Obviously, what they did to South Florida last week was really impressive, and I think Miami's going to take care of Florida pretty easily.
Yeah, I do too. I think you're exactly right on all of that. Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on. Now, look, I'm going to hold you to it. You got a bye week coming up very soon, so whatever day you want, you just tell me. I want you in the building so we can haggle all of this college football out so you can take some breaks off of high school football, if that's still a deal.
Oh, yeah, it's a deal. It sounds like a lot of fun.
All right, Coach Tommy Joe Whitten, Mosley High School. Y'all go get them tomorrow night, Coach. Y'all have a good one. And when we come back, we are going to discuss the remaining NFL schedule that we've got to pick. See if Jeff can pick some winners this week. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Sunday, it's an NFL doubleheader. First, the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. Coverage starts at 3. Kickoff at 3:25. Followed by the 0-2 Chiefs at the New York Giants. Sunday Night Football. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on your home for the NFL on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN. Touchdown! Northwest Florida.
Saturday, September 27th, come to the grand opening land sale at the ranches at Creekside Preserve and get your gorgeous 20 to 50 acre estate in desirable Baldwin County on sale from only $139.9. That's right. Get 20 to 50 acres in Baldwin County from just $139.9 with excellent financing available. Ranches at Creekside Preserve features private large acreage tracts with beautiful woodlands, rolling meadows, and a peaceful creek, all surrounded by pristine natural beauty and abundant wildlife. It's your opportunity to live in Baldwin County, Alabama, one of the fastest growing coastal counties in the U.S. due to low taxes and a low cost of living. Don't miss out. Come to the grand opening land sale at the ranches at Creekside Preserve and get your gorgeous 20 to 50 acre estate in desirable Baldwin County on sale from only $139.9. Call 877-888-1415 or go to creeksidepreserveal.com. That's creeksidepreserveal.com.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Ball's loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
The Gators renew their rivalry with the Miami Hurricanes.
Quick race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10, the 5. Touchdown, Gators.
On your home for Florida football.
Gators at Hurricanes. Saturday, kickoff at 6:30 on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
If you build it, they will come. We're live from the CBC Construction Studios. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Master, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215 888-266-6290. You know, we can't do what we do without our great sponsors, AutoNation Ford in Panama City. If you're looking for a vehicle, if you're needing service for your vehicle, or if you need a part for your vehicle, give those guys a call. They can help you get the right part, the right price, and the right vehicle. All you got to do is just call them, or you can show up at their place right there on 730 West 15th Street, right past the railroad tracks. They'll take good care of you. They're open Monday through Saturday, and they have the deal. So go out there, see those guys. They'll take good care of you. Now, if your vehicle's been in a wreck, if it's been damaged, if you've got some dents or you got some scratches, something that needs to get buffed out or something that needs to be repaired, give those guys over there at Recommended Collision Center on Jinx Avenue. Brandon and the guys do a wonderful job. They'll take care of you. They'll give you a discount. They'll give you a good warm cup of coffee while you're waiting on your estimate, free estimates. They do insurance quality work. Make sure you go see those guys at Recommended Collision Center. Also, don't forget, we're your spot for the biggest and best games for the SEC, ACC, and beyond. I don't even know if there is a beyond. Auburn, Florida, LSU, Miami, and more. Don't miss the epic showdowns. Don't miss the games of the week. This week, we've got Auburn at Oklahoma. Kickoffs at 2:30. And then kickoff is at 6:30 for the big one, Florida at Miami. Don't forget, if you're riding down the road, need somewhere to listen, need something to listen to, that would be a good one to do. So either way, Jeff, we've been rolling into our NFL pick'ems. We got a game tonight. We got the Dolphins playing the Bills tonight on Thursday Night Football. And I'm telling you right now, Miami is in a must-win situation, and you're going to be playing a 2-0 Bills team who has the reigning MVP as their quarterback, who's looked great. I mean, obviously they had that tough game early on that they won in overtime, or not in overtime, they won in the last seconds of the game. But you're playing Josh Allen and the Bills. I mean, it's just... Is this the game that Mike McDaniel gets fired if he doesn't come out there and show a good game?
No, not 0-3. No.
Really?
He's not getting fired after tonight. No.
Okay. All right. No. So if he does, you're going to have to do something
I can apply for a job.
But yeah, so, obviously.
No, it's way too early. Way too early.
Well, obviously, they haven't looked good at all. So let's go through it. I obviously am going to pick the Bills tonight at home. Obviously, that's who you're going to pick.
Didn't they, what was it, 52-14 they beat the Jets? I think it hung like 52 on them.
It could get really ugly really quick. So what do you got for the remaining games?
Well, I'm picking the Bills, obviously. And then the early games, there's a bunch of noon games. I can't believe how lopsided this is.
A bunch.
We've been having 3 o'clock games, and that's it.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs and Eagles were the big game last week, so everybody's pretty much watching that at 3 o'clock anyway.
Yeah.
So it's good that people don't have to compete with that. But next game we have is the Falcons, and they're going to go to Carolina Panthers. And Panthers have not looked good, just like I said they wouldn't.
Yeah, you did say that.
But I was surprised the Falcons upset the Vikings on Sunday night last week. And, of course, I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons, too. Again, I'm not a big Michael Penix guy. I don't think he's got it. But I just think that Carolina is just not that good. If you watch Carolina play, Bryce Young is doing his job. He's hitting wide receivers. He's got a lot of drops. They're dropping the ball, and they're not. I mean, Chuba Hubbard is not. He's running the ball, but, you can't really run the ball when you're coming from behind.
Okay, so let's not compare Penix with Bryce Young. Let's compare him to Caleb at the Bears. Mm-hmm. And the Bears have better weapons than offense, I think.
I don't know. No.
No? Really?
Bijan Robinson is a top 3 running back in the league. And they use him with everything. They use him in the passing game. Yeah. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff with him. So, and Drake London, he's good. I mean, he's a legitimate wide receiver 1. So I disagree with you on that. But I do think that you do realize that the Atlanta Falcons head coach is a defensive coach. Mm-hmm. But the Bears head coach, Ben Johnson, is an offensive coach.
Yeah.
So I could see Caleb Williams having a better year than Michael Penix, even though Michael Penix has got some really good talent around him.
These divisions are so lopsided because the South is horrible.
Yeah. And don't forget, he's got Kyle Pitts, too. Kyle Pitts is still good.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean,
so who's the most comparable person to Penix then? In the whole league? The whole league.
Oh, man.
Daniel Jones? No.
No, because Daniel Jones can actually run better than Michael Penix. Penix doesn't run that much.
Wow.
He doesn't like to. He likes to throw the ball more than he runs.
Awful.
Yeah. But, I mean, Daniel Jones can actually can move a little bit. So, I mean, I don't know.
The Giants didn't like him coming out of the pocket.
Yeah.
They did not like that whole system.
No.
They've never been like that.
You'd have to give me a minute to think about the quarterbacks that I would compare him to, because he's not that good to me. I mean, I know people like him. Don't get me wrong.
Wow. So you think there's a better chance of Bryce Young and Caleb Williams getting benched before? Penix getting benched before either one of those?
No. I don't think Michael Penix gets benched, because I think they got to give him time, and they got to give him time to fail. Having Kirk Cousins there now, if he goes 4 or 5 interceptions in 2 consecutive games, that kind of thing, and they start losing, then I think the leash could be pulled.
Well, the good news is not only did they beat the Vikings, and they had a lot of defense on that game, I know they held them to 6 points, but now they got the Panthers, so
probably
got a little breathing room. Okay, we got next game's Packers at Browns. These are really hard games.
Yeah, I think the Packers are going to win that one. Enough said about that one. We can move to the next one.
Yeah, next. Texans at Jaguars.
Yeah,
wow.
The Texans and Jaguars.
The Jaguars could have been 2-0 this year.
Yes.
I mean, they had the Broncos beat, and they screwed it up.
No, the Bengals.
Oh, the Bengals. I'm sorry. Who did I say?
You Broncos.
Oh, Broncos. Yeah,
they had the Bengals.
That's
they had
right.
Jake Browning in there. He was throwing interceptions, and then he comes back and beats them, which is crazy. So, obviously, I am not very fond of the defensive side of the ball. They got a good pass rusher in Josh Hines-Allen there over in Jacksonville. But, man, with Jake Browning, if Jake Browning beats you on offense, I mean, is your defense really bad or what? Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Because so I don't really know, but like I wanna say that the Jaguars are going to win. I'm hoping that the Jaguars are going to win.
Wow.
But I'm going to go with the Texans just because I believe the Texans are going to play really good defense. Will Anderson Jr. coming off that edge, plays really good, plays really fast, and I think he's going to be in the backfield all day long against Sunshine and the boys.
So, I struggled last week because I picked the Dolphins against the Patriots, and I was like, man, should I really pick the Patriots? And you know how the game went.
Yeah.
Guy stepped out of bounds at the 35-yard line, touchdown got called back, and that's the reason why the Dolphins partially lost that game. It was a really nip-and-tuck game. This game right here, the Texans, I'm taking the Texans, but I'm thinking one of those games where I'm like, I'm not 100% sure on it. And we'll revisit it tomorrow after we finish out all of our picks, and we'll say, what's the game that you're not completely sure on your pick.
Yeah.
And because this game's in Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's going to be one of those questionable games. Yeah. So what you got next?
Okay, we got Bengals at Vikings.
Ooh, so you got Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning. I'm sure when they scheduled this game, they were not expecting these two guys to come in and play.
So obviously,
JJ McCarthy's hurt. He's out. Yeah, he's out. And then obviously Burrow's out for 3 weeks or 3 months actually. So with turf toe.
3 months with turf toe.
So yeah, you're looking at Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz. It's going to be in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bengals defense is atrocious. I think Minneapolis has the edge. They have the home field. I think, go ahead and give me Minnesota on this one. I think that realistically, when you look at Minnesota, they're going to try to run the football. But Aaron Jones is hurt. So I don't know if the other guy's going to be able to run the football or not. But I trust Minnesota's defense better than I do the Bengals, so that's why I'm going with them.
So I did pick the Vikings. I almost wanted to pick the Bengals just to be different from you because we got to pick difference at some point because you're only one game behind.
Yeah.
This is nip and tuck. We're right on my tail. I do have the Vikings. We're going to have to revisit after this game is over with and have to ask ourselves, are the Vikings the most inconsistent team in the NFL? Because they were down by 10 to the Bears. Then they ran up 3 touchdowns in a row and took the lead, right? And then last week, 6 points on the Falcons defense. This might be the most inconsistent team in the whole league.
The thing is that when you look at Minnesota, you got to think one thing and one thing only. It's not the team, it's the quarterback. J.J. McCarthy is not the guy.
Wow.
They went all in on him, and now they're having buyer's remorse. They have to be, because Kevin McConnell knows how to get the best out of a quarterback, but it just doesn't seem like the kid gets it. He doesn't understand it. I don't know. And could this possibly be Sam Darnold reincarnated in Carson Wentz? If he comes out and starts looking really good, then we're going to wonder whether or not when J.J. McCarthy does finally come back, will he put in J.J. McCarthy, or will Carson Wentz stay there if they beat the Bengals and they look good? Because they haven't looked good yet with J.J. in the saddle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the big picture on this whole game. This game has a lot of implications more than just a win-loss.
Wow. Okay. All right, next one, Steelers at Patriots. Steelers at Patriots.
Steelers and Patriots, this is the last one. We got 1 minute left. I'm going to go the Steelers. I think they'll play better defense than the Patriots will. I don't believe in Drake May just yet. I think he's still too new. I think Aaron Rodgers and them will figure it out, and they'll take the Patriots.
Yeah, I got Steelers. I really did not like the way that the Patriots almost gave the game away back to the Dolphins last week.
Yeah.
It was really ugly. They're a bottom 7 team.
Yes.
Maybe 6.
Yeah.
They're really down there.
And, I mean, the Steelers aren't very far away, but I do have a little bit more confidence in the way that Aaron Rodgers knows how to play the quarterback position.
That loss versus the Seahawks last week tarnished their reputation.
Yeah, pretty rough. It was a pretty rough deal, and we'll stop for that one, and we'll pick up tomorrow. And that does it for us. We've been having a blast with you today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Maybe you didn't get to check it all out. Go back and check us out on YouTube or our Facebook page. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll see you tomorrow.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290.
The Rich Eisen Show.
A rhetorical question, which means I already know the answer, and it does not require an answer.
But we'll give you one.
Yeah, I mean,
man, I really